I apologize for the later than usual upload last night. I had some copyright issues with that video. There was a song in the background of one of those Taylor Lorenz clips, and I can't remember which artist it was by. But anyway, YouTube had to remove that song with some software they use. I don't know. But long story short, it took them like 3 hours to remove that song from the background. So that is why the video last night was uploaded 3-4 hours later than usual. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. It seems like the spring cleaning, or I guess I should say the fall cleaning, has spread from CNN Tower to the halls of MSNBC. It is possible, not confirmed, but it is entirely possible that we're seeing a little bit of a shift in the mainstream media. The reason I say that is because these far-left radicals that were so popular 2 years ago, these far-left radicals, they continue to find themselves in the unemployment line. The woke welfare seems to be ending. And the reason the woke welfare is ending is the same reason I've told you guys before. It is easy for these major media corporations, these major media conglomerates, to claim, we're down with the bongo, grab that mythical racism drumstick, beat this white privilege out of my bongo. It is easy to create portions of your website dedicated to Woke United Methodist. We here at MSNBC are proud to announce we have been born again. Join us this Sunday as we will be baptized by Father Jalen Rose in the brown water of the woke swamp. Please bring your mask. This is not a request. This is a demand. Anthony Fauci will be in attendance. As you know, lizards, they enjoy swamp water. The mask will provide you protection so you won't catch Anthony Fauci's disease. The virtue signaling, the creation of myths and fantasies, hiring on-air talent based on diversity, equity, and inclusion instead of merit and qualifications, all that bullshit is easy to do. But at the end of the day, these mainstream media outlets care about one thing and one thing only: money. If you are not attracting an audience, if you're not drawing ratings and generating ad revenue, you're going to be out of a job. Woke welfare is unsustainable. Sympathy and pity, victimizing yourself, it can only carry you for so long. Eventually, you got to deliver. If you don't deliver ratings, they will find someone who will. I would imagine most of you guys have never heard of Zerlina Maxwell. She is a self-described survivor activist. Translation, I'm a professional victim. Now, she claims to be a survivor of sexual assault. I'm not going to dispute her claim. When it comes to sexual assault, I always try to believe the women that are coming forward because it's so hard for them to do that. However, I will dispute Zerlina Maxwell's being a victim of mythical racism. Matter of fact, from the outside looking in, it seems to me that Zerlina Maxwell has been a beneficiary of her skin color. I'll explain in just a second. She has been on Twitter since 2009. In the span of 13 years, she has tweeted over 194,000 times. I contacted our resident math expert here on the channel, the lovely Mina Kimes. I needed her to figure out this tough equation for me, determine the number of daily tweets. KC, I just returned from the nerdium. According to my calculations, Zerlina Maxwell tweets 41 times a day. On another note, the NFL starts tomorrow. My OnlyFans account is exploding. I am completely sold out of sympathy sauce. Clearly, Zerlina Maxwell's had a lot of time on her hands. I have a hard time tweeting 4, 5, 6 times in a week. ZZ over here, she tweets more than she sleeps. During the summer of 2020, ZZ published a book titled The End of White Politics. When I was doing my research this morning, I was extremely confused because Zerlina Maxwell is a staunch supporter of Joe Biden. Let's put an end to white politics. We are going to accomplish this goal by replacing Orange Man Bad with a white man that closely resembles a zombie. Okay. Then I stumbled upon the reason ZZ is so attracted to Joe Biden. He selected Kamala Harris as vice president. He's laying the groundwork for the first female president to be a woke sister. God help us all if Kamala Harris is ever given control of the military. To promote her book on the evil white man in politics, Zerlina Maxwell read excerpts to her lonely male followers on Twitter. I mean, the reason should be obvious, right? The vast majority of members of Woke United Methodist can't fucking read. They need someone who has mastered the skill of reading to spread the good word to them audibly. Check out some of these excerpts from her book. Roll the film.
I wanted to read a short excerpt from my new book, The End of White Politics. It's in the chapter titled The White Resistance. White Americans know they aren't treated the way Black Americans are treated. Privilege doesn't mean that you're a racist. It means that you're enjoying some benefits because of the color of your skin, and you'd never even had to think twice about it. It's the things that you don't have to think about. That's the benefit of your skin color. White privilege means that you won't ever have to live with the burden of biases and prejudices that can invoke danger at any moment, such as being shot by the police just because you were driving, walking, running, or existing while Black, like so many other people who have sadly become household names, such as Walter Scott, Trayvon Martin, and Michael Brown. It's the privilege of not having to wonder how the world sees you because you have skin that is white. It's the privilege of being able to set the tone and the policy for an entire nation's populace and think that's just the way it should be because that's the way it's always been. The impulse to be moderate at this moment feels like a manifestation of the white privilege that has plagued us for so long. It operates from a position of fear. Fear of change, fear of pushing boundaries, fear of losing white privilege for what is now a small part of the Democratic electorate. Moderation is outdated for our times and our intractable problems. And this rush to the Democratic center is futile at best. Hi, Joe Biden.
Oh, preach the good word, my sister, and woke. Why did you stop? I was almost to the point of woke climax. I was so close. My favorite part was the ending where you preached for minutes about the end of white politics, then gave a fucking shout out to Joe Biden. I just have one question. Zerlina Maxwell, please explain to me, what benefit do I have because of my skin color? What are some of the things I don't have to think about that you're concerned about? I can name things I do have to think about that you don't. For example, I bet you don't have to worry about attending a volleyball game at BYU and being accused of mythical racism. I bet you don't have to worry about being accused of mythical misogyny because I decide to hire a man over a woman when applying for jobs in the mainstream media. I would imagine you don't have to concern yourself with checking enough woke boxes because you already check all of them. Again, please explain to me what you're so worried about that I don't have to be concerned with. Well, KC, you don't have to worry about being shot by the police because you were driving. Yeah, neither do you. Someone please give me one example of a minority here in America being shot by the cops because they were driving down the damn interstate. KC, you don't have to worry about being shot by police because you were running from them. Yeah, you're probably right about that, but there's a reason for that. I don't run from the fucking cops. You see, the chances of you having a violent altercation with police officers, those chances are dramatically reduced when you don't run from them. You have a much better chance of survival if you just take the charge and bond yourself out of jail. Hell, as a matter of fact, these days, you don't even need money to bond out. You simply walk out of jail like nothing ever happened. MSNBC, they seem to notice the growing popularity of Zerlina Maxwell. And when I say growing popularity, I mean thousands of bots on Twitter were liking her comments. During the fall of 2020, when sympathy hiring was at an all-time high in the mainstream media, MSNBC gave Zerlina Maxwell her own streaming show on Peacock. Now, what were her qualifications? I mean, do qualifications even matter anymore? Had ZZ built up a large following here on YouTube? Her YouTube channel has been inactive for, I don't know, maybe about 4 years now, but she used to post clips all the time of her appearances on woke news networks like HLN, CNN, MSNBC. In the span of 6 years, she gained 780 subscribers, with her most watched video attracting 5,300 views. As you can see, this woman is a skilled broadcaster. Clearly, she has the charisma of a cucumber. She has hundreds of lonely men hanging on her every word. Let's be real here. MSNBC gave Zerlina Maxwell her own show because she represented diversity, equity, and inclusion. I guess it doesn't matter how you get in the door. It only matters what you do when you're given the opportunity. So, what did Zerlina Maxwell do with her opportunity in the mainstream media? Just take a wild guess. What do shitfucks do anytime they are given a free platform that they didn't have to earn? What do? They use that platform to spread mythical racism. In the last 2 years, Zerlina Maxwell topped the mythical racism charts several times. One of her biggest hits was titled, "Low Gas Prices Are a Form of White Privilege." She followed that up with the smash hit, "It's white privilege to complain about inflation." Oh, did this song have a catchy hook to it? White people complain about inflation when there's serious problems facing our nation. Black men can't walk the street. White men are worried about paying for meat. We need to put an end to all this dividing. I have the answer. His name is Joe Biden. Zerlina Maxwell used her platform to float the myth that only white people are concerned about the economy. She claimed black people are more worried about serious issues, like mythical racism. Problem was, Zerlina Maxwell was wrong. Turns out 65% of black Americans are extremely concerned about the economy. Who would have thought? I have a lot of black people in my audience. What are you guys more concerned about? Are you more worried about the cop riding behind you, or are you worried about your rapidly diminishing paycheck because of all the inflation? Even though Zerlina Maxwell was consistently topping the mythical racism charts, she struggled to draw an audience on Peacock. She announced yesterday that she was leaving MSNBC next week. "September 15th will be my final performance. Please join me as we reflect on the last 2 years of the work I did to keep my community down." Now, this is just pure speculation on my part, but I don't think Zerlina Maxwell just up and left MSNBC. She was fired. People who are receiving woke welfare free money, they usually don't submit requests for the money to stop coming. I mean, if you were receiving free money, would you put a stop to it? If Zerlina Maxwell was thriving, MSNBC would have promoted her to the main network. Maybe start her out on weekends before moving her to weekdays, perhaps eventually giving her a show in prime time. That is the trajectory for people who draw an audience in the mainstream media. Zerlina Maxwell, she couldn't draw WNBA players to a freshly delivered pizza in the dump. With that being the case, you know what we got to do here. We had to lay her career in the mainstream media to rest. Maybe we can put her next to Brian Stelter. Zerlina, she's an attractive, thin woman. Doesn't look like she eats a lot of donuts, so Brian wouldn't have to share. She looks like she takes good care of herself physically, probably eats a lot of fruit. I'll reserve the slot on the other side of her for Don Lemon. That way, Zerlina will have a fresh supply of lemons. Plus, she'll never have to worry about Donnie putting the moves on her. It's a win-win situation. But give me your thoughts. Zerlina Maxwell, given a sympathy opportunity in the mainstream media, and she becomes a huge embarrassing failure. Do you think we are witnessing a new trend here in the mainstream media? It seems like the woke are turning on the woke with more and more regularity. What do you think? Sound off in the comments below. Smash that like button for me. If you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.